It's the Cable
Oh, I should draft something, huh? Like redoing the stream title. Let's do Witherbloom Apprentice. Let's pack one, pick one Witherbloom, and just fucking force the combo. It's like the new Splinter Twin, right? Let's just jam it. Oh, shit. Well, that Moxable would have been insane, huh? Academy and Tameo here. It'd be nuts to take Tameo and wheel the Academy. I don't think Academy wheels ever. I guess I'll just take Chariot Hum. Snuff Out, Mire, Necromancy, Hymn to Turak. I'm gonna him, I think. Hey, how Flack thinks the 69 months. Thanks for sharing the Prime. Nice indeed. Nice indeed. Oh, well. I guess I should have taken that Tameo, because I'm going into blue anyway. Yeah, Tameo is so much better than Chariot. I should have just jammed it. Little Cub action, maybe. Cub's good. Alright, I'm going to be doing some variety streaming tomorrow. Alright, I got my weekend schedule in there. Oh, the Chain of Smog. We did it. Just like that. It was that easy. So with Witherbloom Apprentice and Chain of Smog in the deck, we're going to be valuing Black's tutoring abilities very, very highly. Little bummed to pass all this discard. We passed Duress and Inquisition now. Hey, sup, Tater Chimp. Oh, I should get my wrist braces on, hum. I can use the computer for a while without them, like a few hours without them hurting, but like my left hand, when I'm streaming, like I keep my fingers in like this lock position for hitting F2 and F6. So that's pretty nice. No, I just don't have to worry about it. Better prevent the pain than slowly realize it's affecting me. That's kind of how my brain works. I'll like tune it out until it's pretty bad. Just not great. What's up, Puskazy? Hope you're doing well. I did fucking shit today. I like took out the trash and I brought in the groceries. And that was like it. I had all these things that I wanted to do. The weather was nice. I just laid around. I had difficulties getting to sleep last night, though. I think I've just been stressed. You've had a nasty cold for a week? Oh, I'm sorry. Good luck getting better, feeling better. Hey, Untouched Marlin, how's it going? Still like poop looking. I mean, after we took the frog, blue dried up. So we could have a frog and a Tameo, but we just have a frog. It might be a hard one to splash. I've splashed for frog before. I'll do it again, but like the blue needs to be there, right? The blue lands need to be there. We shall see. Yeah, this pack I remember being like kind of blue heavy. There was a Tameo and a Tolarian Academy in here, I think. Thinking about Freebooter, thinking about Lethal Scheme. Let's take the Freebooter. Just this wave of 2-drops. Yeah, we really need stuff to do on turn 1. We really could use, or we could use like some Moxid to speed us up, huh? Just to jump us to 2. This is one of those decks that would definitely prefer a Mox Jet or a Mox Emerald over like a Soul Ring or a Mana Crypt, right? Well, I mean, if I'm splashing Frog, I'd probably splash Worm. Salvager is cool if you end up with a Recurring Nightmare, which I could see, but I'm just going to do this just in case. Hey. Yeah, the other two are interesting options as well in terms of fixing. I like Carnage Interpreter. Yeah, I'll take the Interpreter. This album's a vibe. So this pack has 2 options that solve 2 different problems for the deck. A lot of what you're looking for in building a cube deck, you're looking for like very consistent things. Like you want enough threats, you want a good curve, you want good fixing, things that like you would want in a normal limited deck. However, you're also constructing like an oiled machine made up of like constructed components. And sometimes what you should be thinking about is like what problem does this pick solve for the deck? And there's two different problems that could be solved here. Chrome Mox fixes our issue of the curve starting at 1. It could just like jump us straight to 2, speed us up to with everybody else. And then Demonic Tutor solves the problem of consistency, right? Yeah, when we picked up the Chain of Smog and the Witherbloom Apprentice, I was saying we're going to really value those tutors so we can just do the thing consistently and get some free wins that way. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to grab the Demonic Tutor. Really sad to see Chrome Mox go, though. I fucking love a Chrome Mox. Hello, Zagoth Triome. I want to turn this up a little bit. Let me know if that's too loud, if I'm getting too loud for y'all. Yeah, so I like the Dork. The Dork could help. I think I'm going to grab the Grief here. Grief handily being like a solid 4-drop play, or you can just like pitch cast on turn 1, right? Something to do on turn 1 if you're worried. Also an interaction card you can play on the combo turn, right? Make sure it goes through. Ace up Hippie and Tomb Overlord, both interesting. I'm kind of interested in Safekeeper as a way of like protecting my Witherbloom Apprentice. Not going to get blown out by a removal spell. Ever the Mana Leak there? Nah. Yeah, not a fan of soft counters off the splash. Tempted by this Brainstorm. Probably gonna end up with that Baleful Mastery and some removal. It's a pretty good one. Pretty nice little catch-all, huh? Terra Sunder can do everything too. Yeah, not really a fan of this pack. I don't like the random mill on Monstrosity in this deck. Like if you mill the Smog or the Apprentice, you just like don't have that option to combo. And people make the case that like, well, you could mill a card closer to the Apprentice or what have you. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily true in your deck with like Demonic Tutor, right? Like, having access to the card eventually could certainly matter. Overgrown Tomb, Tropical Island, which is better? I'm going to go with the OG duel. Both are great, of course. This one doesn't shock me. Caryatid or Yavimaya, huh? One awkward thing about Caryatid is that it does not help our curve situation, huh? Nice late Hedge Maze. Hey, the Old Jug, thanks for 95 months there. Cube Cute Caleb, that's me. Always calling me Cube Cute Caleb. There's some wild creatures in the ocean. There are. You are not wrong. As anyone who's ever gotten high and watched Planet Earth can attest. Which is a lot of people. Hey, the Baleful Wheel. Yeah, usually I'm high on Monstrosity, but with our main goal being the Witherbloom Apprentice thing, I'm gonna leave it out here. Well, the Unearth makes it a little better, huh? Makes the self-mill a little better. I'll think about it. Wow, Mana Vault is just not what we needed at all. It's just really bad. I guess we could use it if we wheel the Titanium. I like play the Chariot. Yum, Flying Fish. Yeah, deck's not like quite gelling. But I like the bones. I like the scaffolding we have here. I'm gonna get that Sedgemoor Witch, huh? One more combo piece for the Chain of Smog. Smog. Waterlord Grove's tempting. Well done, Ramses. Yeah, turn 2 kill with just red and green cards always feels good. Even if you did Black Lotus into Minsk and Boom. I had a new knife set show up today. I haven't gotten a chance to cut anything with it yet. I wanted to like make up excuses to cut stuff. Time to slice this potato for science. So if we actually had a flash, then this Tyrant would be sweet, but we don't. I'm just gonna grab Strip Mine. Hope that Titania wheels. Maybe that was a bad bet. Take the Mana Vault and hope for the Titania. I mean, the Titania is a lot better if you have the Mana Vault and cast it kind of early. The Mana Vault's pretty bad here otherwise. Well, Mind Twist plays well with the Mana Vault at least. I'm into that. Let's jam that. You think the Frog's gonna have a great time? I hope so. I'm leaning Mortuary right now. A little bit of selection in there. I like that the Green Sun Zenith can find the Apprentice. The Dark Ritual is kind of sweet, Yeah, let's take this Dark Ritual. I was talking about how like a Mox could help fix our curve, but Dark Ritual gives you the turn 2 kill, right? Apprentice plus Chain of Smog. I like the Mortuary, but this is also good. Oh wow, Recurring Nightmare. Yeah, Recurring Nightmare, Metamorph, Night's Whisper, Force of Vig for the sideboard. I don't think the worm's happening. We're doing pretty well on playables. There's like one nod towards the Force of Vigor. Yeah, we could have been a Recurring Nightmare deck, but we didn't really build towards it. I'm leaning towards Force of Vigor or the Night's Whisper, and just like more card draw. Let's throw the Force of Vigor in the sideboard. Not really my pack, Ooh, that's late Marsh Flats. What does that get? Zagoth Triome. Yeah, that's enough, That's enough. Oh, that last pack was the Titanium pack. I remember because we saw it before we saw Zeranorb. Okay. Think about Endurance is another sideboard card. I'm probably going to take this Waterlogged Grove. In Cradle decks, I think Oddity is one of the better 4-drops you can get. Without Cradle, I think Questing Beast is better. I think Oddity is going to be the cut here. It looks like we're doing well on the correct number of playables and all that. Jesus Christ. There's probably a Reanimator deck being drafted, but they just like don't have the creature count for Recurring Nightmare. I think I'm gonna cut this Evolve Sleeper. One question we have now is, what is the cut? I think it might be Monstrosity. I love this bear, but I think we have plenty of other unearthed targets. I think that'll line up fine. It's like 10 green sources. Feels like a lot. How many black sources is this? 5. Only 9. We only have 2 blue cards, so we shouldn't need that many blue sources. Like 5 or 6. And this is 6. I think I like Griefing turn 1 here. Make sure we don't fucking die. Yeah, God of Souls kills so quickly. The nice thing about their hand is they don't have interaction. 3-0-6-0 because we have good pressure and disruption. I could see it. Pretty low on removal against this Boros opponent. We'll see if that ends up mattering. So I assume my opponent drew a flash 3-1 here, or maybe the flash 2-2 token. No, nothing, huh? I don't understand why they didn't play anything last turn then. Like even just the Thraben Inspector. Titania did not wheel. If they double block my Chariot here, I don't have to order blockers, so they won't know which one to give protection. Makes it a pretty good attack, I think. The second activation gives it Death Touch, right? Yeah. There's a new Witchcraft album coming out. They released one track off of it. I'm gonna check that out. This is a lot doomier than their more recent albums. Yeah, it's gonna beat me pretty quickly, It's like Chain of Smog or bust, but we do have a Demonic Tutor in the deck that can find Chain of Smog too. So we got a few live draws here. It's interesting. We're at 12. Let's do this. Scapekeeper might chump here, actually. Just stretching the Giver of Runes. It can't protect both the Adeline and the Anthemer. And then this is 7 coming through. I guess that's okay. All right, deck. I'm gonna need a little bit of help here. So if I kill Giver now, I can go chump, block, take 4, go to 1. Or I could draw a card with the sleeper and just try and win now. A land drawing, I would have felt a little bit more comfortable with that, because then Demonic Tutor's also an out. But just drawing right now, you're just taking your 1 in 25 chance. Basically, we have to block and not lose the Witherbloom is the issue. So Evolved Sleeper would go in front of Adeline, the Cub would go in front of this Usher, and Safekeeper would chump something, we'd take 4. Not a great spot. Howdy, howdy. Yes, up, strategist. Oh, casting this gains me a life. Oh, shit, let's draw a card then. Witherbloom cannot block the Adeline token. Oh, I guess it can now. We have the adversary in play. I'm used to the tokens being 2/2s. Yeah, I would have figured that out when it attacks, though, I think I'm not drawing with Sleeper again. The issue is you're giving them a card with a Baleful Mastery, but instead of just like paying 4 for it. Kind of interesting little game. Sylvan Safekeeper coming up. Glad I didn't jump with the last turn. Yeah, they're hoping to get rid of the Sleeper, so give the Adeline trample there. I'll just have that win. No attacks? Wow. Just letting their shit grow, Fuck, They just exiled the Burst Lightning. Well, that's probably going to do it. The Evolved Sleeper, Sleepy AF. Pretty sleepy, Definitely not a Borg Regeneration Chamber there. Damn. Yeah, I think our only way of winning from this spot is if they decided to Burst Lightning one of my creatures and run into Safekeeper again. Wait, yeah, they got me. Damn, how close were we? We went through like half of our deck and couldn't find Demonic Tutor or Chain of Smog. Would have liked more tutors. Would have liked more tutors. Doesn't seem like a Bronco matchup, does it? So Force of Vigor hits their enchantment. We didn't really see anything else for it. Think about just like playing Oddity, just play another thing. Kind of hate it. Let's play Manamorphose. Doomsday technically a tutor. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's probably underrated as a way to set up other combos. How do I feel about Chain of Smog being the cube versus twin? I think Black-Green needs to help Blaze it in terms of balance. And I like that it's vulnerable, a little bit more vulnerable to counters. It's more mana efficient than Twin, which you almost need to be to like keep up with the pace of the current crop of aggro decks. And then it's easier to interact with from the opponent's perspective because you can't protect it with counters, which is pleasant, I think. I think it's kind of perfect. I dig it. Hello. I'm into it, sure. Do I plan to make it on the top 50 anytime soon? Oh, the cube? I could do that. Maybe near the end. I kind of want to do a little like light up of the cards that I dislike as well. I don't think they'd play Galvanic Blast unless they had another burn spell. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make them do it. Really want to hold on to this Night's Whisper, but I should probably keep the Chariot. Block, discard one more card. Hello. I think I'm gonna chill on the Demonic Tutor. Interesting. Deal all the damage to the Straben here. Now we'll do the 3-in-1. Do the intuitive thing. I think I would have killed a cat if I was them. How bad is this grabbing a fetch here? Yeah, I was thinking saving the Demonic Tutor until we have like one half of the combo made sense with 3 different combo pieces in the deck. But now we have 2 draw engines. 2 draw engines is pretty good. That game was a really good example of why I play Psychic Frog. We got past this card like 4th. Blue wasn't open. I didn't care. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Still got a Frog. It's a lot closer to 4th than a lot of people realize, where you should probably just splash it. 4th and Minsk and Boo have similar things going on, where they just like win so hard that it's like, okay, well, let's squeeze a few more mana sources in here. Yeah, I wonder if I could look at like mass win rates of splashing cards like 4th and Psychic Frog versus splashing like Ancestor Recall and Time Walk, which are like very common, right? Historically accepted popular splashes. Did I consider grabbing a Strip Mine to nuke their white? I did not, no. I wanted my 4 mana. Crack Clues, Grow the Tracker. It doesn't sound wrong, Doms. Yeah, the first time I played a turn 2 Psychic Frog and my opponent played a turn 2 Minsk and Boo, and they just like straight up died. I was like, okay, all right. This one's a little silly. Those are the 3 that I'm the most excited to splash for. I am 3/3. I don't think splashing for like Bombardiers is wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a comprehensive list, but those are certainly the ones that come to mind. I'm doing well to un. A little stressed, but overall in a pretty good spot. Oh, yeah, let's just get the rest of their things, huh? Just gonna mind twist them and lose to the 2 creatures they have remaining here. Yeah, I've splashed forward, been happy with it. I am 333. Now I have to deal with this fucking mana ball hitting us every turn. Let's just play this freebooter. They have nothing in hand, but a 1/2 is like actually effective against their board. And then next turn we can land, play the tracker plus Craig a fetch if we want. That's what I was kind of questioning Jidahim. I'm not sure. I've long been suspicious of Ancestral Recall in particular, especially like when you don't have very many sources to splash it. Because like if it takes you, if you're sitting there with a Recall Rotting in your hand and it takes you a few turns to find the blue source to play it, you might as well be playing like a Harmonize or something, right? Like. This got very, like, classic 70s prog all of a sudden, hum. I think I'm going to untap that Mana Vault. You think the data would be misleading since people oversplash power compared to frog? Sure, but... So you could say that about, like, any data ever, right? Like, it's not going to line up exactly. That's not the same thing as it being misleading. You just take those things into account. Probably makes the data correct and the people misled. Right, exactly. That's what you're learning here with the data. It's not misleading at all. Yeah, a little bit worried about this Guide of Souls jumping stuff. Don't have a lot of answers for that. One's got a lot of life to work with, too. Yeah, I'm going to untap the vault. Gonna immediately lose that life I just saved. Cast the Usher. Oh, because that gives them the flight. I assume they want to jump their lifelinker. And then this turn, they don't have the card in hand to give it trample from Inti. So I think this is the turn you want to chump if you are in the jumping biz. Could crack clues, looking for like our 1 removal spell. Think about playing the Grief and using Grief Cat token to create the Chariot. God, I'm mana short. I'm a mana short. I could find Unearth. And just bring back Freebooter again. But again, they can give it trample this turn. Probably not that good. Opponent has 2 looks to find a burn spell to finish me off here. They found a Skyseer's Chariot. Okay. It's another flyer, so simply getting a removal spell for the adversary here is not going to work, is it? Yeah, taking the hit there, trying to find the combo this turn, Trying to find a Witherbloom Apprentice plus Chain of Smog is my best way to win the game. And we have a Demonic Tutor that could find 1. I guess the Grove just needs to hit, I think we'll have exactly enough mana if we hit either Smog or Apprentice here. Sedgemoor Witch does not do it. Does not do the job. That's a fucking bummer, Yeah, the other game we lost, we just straight up didn't find half the combo in the top 20 cards, and that just happened again here in game 3. This game was looking good for a bit. That was a good mind twist. I knew like eventually God of Souls would be an issue, and they got a flyer running before we could find an answer. I guess I'll cast this. Take a look-see from the old deck. I think I'm just dead though. Brainstorm into both cards. Brainstorm into both cards and a fucking Dark Ritual. It would need to be the perfect 3. Is cracking the Grove before the Demonic Tutor the same as cracking after? No, it's much worse. Ooh. Should actually let on the sleeper, and if they counter it, I could play Triumph maybe. Alright, I might want to cycle the Triumph. It's an expensive ass bitter Triumph. Opponent's at 11 now. Your opponent always seems to have the combo in the opening hand, top cards of the deck, right? Yeah, I lost a trophy with like a really duddy Time Walk deck the other day. And it was my opponent, like, both games I lost, they just had Apprentice in the first, like, 3 turns or something. I was like, alright. Fair enough. Sometimes you just get got. Proving the Chain of Smog right after. I'm gonna try and play around Sorcery Speed removal. Just wait a turn. Cycle this Triumph. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Moose Plural, thanks to 18 months. How's this volume level? Sound good? Am I not getting drowned out? Yeah, no Fatal Push. There's a blue counter that could answer me too. I could just Mind Twist them. Is it better to give them a top deck? I'm just going to go for it. Certainly looks like a F6 turn, huh? It's like God gently caressing your earballs. Amazing. Just what I was looking for. Deck performed really well that last game. Let's do that again, huh? Just sack out into perfect cards. I'm gonna hold on to Zagoth Triumph to cycle again. Gonna need a bathroom break soon. Been drinking a ton of fluids today. What's that word for like when what your muscle like bunches up? It's a lot of pain. Cramp? Yeah, it's like when you wake up. Specifically. Charlie Horse, that's the one. Thanks, Gathane. Yeah, I had one of those earlier. It was pretty brutal. I think I read somewhere once that they happen more when you're dehydrated. So now every time I get a Charlie Horse, I drink like a shitload of water. And low on potassium. I might be low on potassium. You know what's got a surprising amount of potassium? Pumpkin. I should grow some pumpkins this year. Yeah, more than bananas even. Aw, man, this brutality is hitting. My demonic tutor. Bell peppers? Yeah, I believe it. Bananas are also much harder to grow at home than pumpkins. Yeah, pumpkins are super fucking easy. I think they're native to North America, too. I think I remember reading about European immigrants getting, like, very confused by pumpkins. Starving off the boat and being like, what the fuck is this? How do I eat this? Coconut also higher than bananas. Nice. Yeah, I was worried about the Guide of Souls, the Striker. I eventually found a removal spell, but it was like the same turn that you had multiple flyers. Yeah, I was trying to find the that last turn. I was trying to dig up the combo, but I didn't quite get there. Thanks for the match. Good luck in your next rounds, of course. Well murdered. You were not ready for how large the footprint of squash plants were when you started guarding? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're big and they're viney and they just zoom around. Interesting. The Three Sisters method involves planting corn, beans, and squash together. They support each other's growth and improve soil health. Corn provides a structure for beans to climb. Beans enrich the soil with nitrogen, and squash helps retain moisture and suppress weeds. Yeah, that all makes sense to me. Yeah, Native American agriculture just changed the diet of the entire Western world, huh? They're still not, like, really sure exactly how corn was developed. Because it was made from like a just like a regular grain, right? Like wheat or something. just this miracle of cultivation. A little brainstorm action. Protect the old Hayden from freebooter. Oh shit, Fergone's an expert. I'll call up the scientists that were having an issue with it. The people must know. What's up, Phase Yoda? I don't think Cub's supposed to be growing the freebooter. Not really the card you want to paint a target on, but it is evasive, right? Yeah, right? Like, everybody associates tomatoes with Italian cooking. It's like, well, maybe the last few hundred years. Whole lot changed, huh? Little Pink Floydy. I can see it, Jedham. Yeah, for sure. No spicy food worldwide until folks brought them back from Mexico. Well, there's definitely spicy food. India and China and such. Oh, some kind of combo action over there, huh? If I'd played Witherbloom Apprentice last turn, then this turn I would have ripped Demonic Tutor to find the combo and win. England invaded the world for its spices, then decided to use none of them. Yeah, sort of. If you go to England today, the best food is definitely Indian food. And they are very aware of that. Everyone that gave me food recommendations was like, you gotta try the Indian. Spaghetti was a Chinese invention, was it? Oh, the AI overview is arguing with you. Can we trust the AI? Probably not. Yeah, the stupid overview says, while popular belief suggests Marco Polo introduced spaghetti to Italy after his travels to China, evidence suggests pasta, including spaghetti-like forms, did exist in Italy, particularly Sicily before his time. Maybe one of those things where it got developed in multiple areas. Spaghetti-like forms, SLFs. Like how every culture has a dumpling adjacent food. Oh yeah. Some cultures certainly did a better job of perfecting, but yeah, I think that's accurate. There's a lot more tells between the two countries, like chili oil and dumplings / raviolis. Sure. Yeah, raviolis seem a bit more specific, huh? But maybe they're just a different form of dumpling. A dumpling by any other name. Jesus Christ, Tater Chin. Jesus. Hell yeah. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in a minute here. Yeah. So I think the opponent's on some kind of combo, right? If they're playing that one tutor artifact. At least that's where I usually play it. In the Andes, there are hundreds of varieties of potatoes that no one outside of Peru will ever taste. Sounds like a good reason to visit Peru. Yeah, and we growing a few different kinds of potatoes this year. Kind of excited to have a shitload of sweet potatoes. They seem like fun things to get creative with. I could see that, CP. I could see that. Very difficult for me to not just like discard a bunch of cards. Take 5, you know, let's have a 4-turn clock game. Do you Mind Twist? Do you Bronco? Do you Sedgemoor Witch? Let's Witch. Gizzard does go crazy with time signatures, yeah. And like patterns of time signatures that like evoke hidden time signatures and stuff. They get pretty nuts with it. Having entirely too much fun. Yeah, I thought about Mind Twisting for 2 there. Or Demonic Tutoring for Grief. Uh-oh. Triple cooked chips. First simmered, then cooled and drained. Using a sous vide technique or by freezing. I could freeze, I don't have a sous vide thing. Deep fried, then cooled again, then deep fried at a higher temp. Chips with a glass-like crust and a soft, fluffy center. Is that needlessly elaborate? Well, you're doing something to the chip when you're cooling it and then re-cooking it. The chemical makeup of it and all that. This is a little weird, but I'm gonna do this. So, like, your definition of needlessly is just gonna be different than theirs, right? Like, they're getting a different flavor than if you just made regular old frozen fries and threw them in the fryer. Yeah, chemistry's often elaborate, yeah. I watched a video about someone testing how often to like flip a steak in a pan, right? So the traditional wisdom was you would just like put it on one side and then flip it halfway through to sear in the juices. Well, if they counted my card, I guess it wasn't that bad. But they tested like flipping it a whole ton and like taking it off and cooling it and then reheating like a bunch of different stuff. And they had like way better results doing non-traditional shit, like flipping pretty often, because then the core could actually get heated. When you're doing like the heat up and then cool down and then heat up and then cool down, you ended up with like a much more even cook than if you're just blasting something. You like searing after cooking in the oven? I like that too, yeah, the reverse sear. I'm a fan of. Yeah, this is just specifically if you're just gonna be cooking on a stovetop. Yeah, right, Jenham? Yeah, I kind of found that out just by trial and error, too. Wonder what this top's looking for, So we're damage short. We can pitch 3 to the Psychic Frog, and then the Sedgemoor Witch has Menace. So it could be 679 and then 10 with our Pest token. Last turn I almost Demonic Tutored for a Dark Ritual into the Mind Twist to spit out some Pest tokens, and I'm kind of wishing I'd done that now. Or just like discarded one more card into the Frog, right? If I discard the Tracker, I'd have lethal here. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Jay Gresh, the tier 3, the 121 months. Cheers. That, my friends, is a lot of months. How many years is that? 121. 10 years. I guess I didn't really need to calculate that, huh? Since 121 and 12, right? 120 and 12. Anyway, it's a lot of months, over a decade. Glad you're still enjoying the stream, Jay Grash. I hope you're still enjoying the stream. I could just Demonic Tutor, see if there's anything in the deck that's interesting. Removal spell for the Trinket Mage doesn't work, because then that's one less card you're discarding to the Frog, huh? Oh, what about Night's Whisper? Does Night's Whisper just win? That's funny. Because then it becomes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. Just sub for 10 years out of spite. At a certain point, you might just be like holding on to your record. I don't know. A max sub spite would be interesting for sure. Yeah, this is for blockers. I was looking at attacking. Yeah, I fucked it up. I did get there though. All because I made that terrible pun. It was a really bad pun. It was not good. For those that don't know, somehow I was in the draw bracket playing against Belcher. I do know how that happened, but this is besides the point. And I get paired against a player whose last name is Moffat. And as we sit down, I tell him that he's gonna be throwing Mo Fitz after I beat him. And Jay Gresh really enjoyed that. We really enjoyed that one. Not a good pun. Not great.